and thank you for joining me for today's craft video. Today, I'm going to be walking you through the steps to make your own penguin terrarium. So here are the supplies that you're going to need to make your own penguin terrarium. The first thing you'll need are these little plastic ornaments. They come in 2 pieces, and they will fit together cleanly at the top, and they even have a little hole here at the top for you to tie a string through, which is the next supplies that you'll need. Each of the kits that we'll have that you can register for will come with all of these items, including the string. I just used a single strand of embroidery floss. It fits through the loop at the top really well, and it holds the terrarium. You will also need a little penguin. These are toppers for like pencils or markers. They have a little hole in the bottom, but they're gonna work great for our terrarium because they're miniature and they're gonna fit inside nicely. In our kits, ooh, sorry penguin. In our kits, we'll also include a small pine tree just to add as further decoration. And then the snow in our kits and what kind of holds them all together, each kit will come with 2 ounces of modeling clay. So you'll get 2 of these. And these are the supplies that you'll need to create your penguin terrarium. The first step that we're going to do to complete our penguin terrarium is going to be putting our 2 pieces of terrarium together. So each of these pieces will have a little kind of knob on the top that has a hole for the thread to go through. So we want to make sure that that is at the top and that they meet up. So we're going to put these 2 pieces together, and they should just kind of click together. There we go. And we want to make sure that the 2 holes at the top are lined up. There we go. Okay. So now that they're fit together and our holes are lined up at the top, we are going to take our piece of red thread, and I like to do this by making a loop. So I'm going to make the 2 ends meet. And then I'm going to take the loop end and just kind of fit it through. There we go. And then I'm just going to tie a simple knot. And I'm going to double knot it just in case. And then you can clip off the little tail end of the thread that you don't need, but on the other side, you have a loop, so you'll be able to hang your terrarium. The added bonus to tying the loop right now is that it's going to help hold our terrarium together while we're fitting all the pieces inside. So this is our put together terrarium, and now we're going to add some simple decorations. So the first thing that we're going to do is make a base for our snow, and we're going to use one of the pieces of modeling clay that you have. So I'm going to set that there. Then we're just going to kind of turn this into a bit more of a circle instead of a square. But this is just going to kind of fill in the bottom. So you don't need to worry too much about making it look perfect, because this is kind of just the bottom part. So here's mine. It's more of a circle now instead of the rectangle that it came in. And you're just going to kind of fit it in through the hole and line it around the bottom. Here we go. And then I just kind of press it in so it's up against the sides. You need to think kind of about how tall you want your snow to be. So here I have this in here, and I'm looking at it straight on and I can see that it's very crooked one direction. So what I'm gonna do is, because remember this is our top up here. So I'm gonna move this over before it gets too fitted. Here we go. Looks a little better. Okay. So then I'm just going to kind of push this around so it looks a little bit more how I would like it to look. So I've got that part in there. And now we're going to use the other piece of clay to kind of fill in this middle dip right here. So, so that it will kind of be more level for when we are adding in our penguin and our tree. So if you have small hands and you can't reach all the way to the back, you might want to use like a pencil or a marker so that you can reach in and kind of push down the snow or the clay around the sides. And there we go. I think that looks pretty good. Then I'm not going to use all of this other thing of modeling clay. I'm going to take off about 1/3 of it. So just one end here. And I'm going to set that aside. There we go. So I'm using this much of the clay, and I'm once again going to just kind of work this around, make it into more of a circle, but a smaller circle, because we want it to fit in with our other part of the circle. So then I'm going to go ahead and put this in here. And this part is just kind of filling in the middle. So it's not going to go all the way to the edge. And I try to press mine down around the edge to kind of make the line between the two clays a little less apparent. But it's okay if you can see that still, because that's how snow kind of looks in real life too. So. All right. So after that, you should have kind of a snowy bank. Here we go. Still high on one side. I'm going to fix that up really quick. And sometimes while you're pressing, your ornament might start coming apart, or your terrarium might start coming apart, and that's okay. Just kind of push it back together again. When the clay dries, it's gonna hold it together a little bit better. But there we go. That's what I'm gonna use as my foundation for my terrarium. So now that I have that part complete, I'm gonna kind of set this aside. And I'm gonna take a little bit of this clay. Ooh, there we go. And I'm just gonna make a little circle. It's this guy. And then I'm gonna take a little bit more. And if you'll notice on your penguin, when you look at him, he's got this hole here because these are penguins that they are supposed to sit on top of like a pencil or a pen as a little like top cover. And so I'm gonna take a little bit of clay and kind of put it there. And this is gonna help, when the clay dries to itself, it's gonna help hold your penguin in place. So I just kind of put a little bit of clay here in the bottom of my penguin. That way he will stick better. And then I put him on this little thing that I just made. So he's sitting on kind of like a little snow pad. So there he is. And then I'm gonna fit him to one side. There he goes. And I'm gonna put him kind of more towards the front. So here he is, kind of sitting off to the side. And then I'm just gonna push him in. This would be another time, oh, I wanna make sure he's sitting back so we can see his face. This would be another time where you would maybe wanna use a pencil or a marker or something to kind of help flatten out the clay in the background. But here he is sitting in his terrarium. And then because my little tree has a wooden bottom, I'm gonna use another bit of clay to kind of cover that up so that it looks more like it's sitting in snow. You don't have to do that. That's just kind of what I would like to do. So I'm gonna go ahead and spread my clay kind of thin. And then I'm gonna wrap it around this tree. There he is. And we kind of keep doing that until I feel like I've got a nice even bit of clay to kind of buffer with the bottom of my tree. So it makes it a little bit more flat, if you can see that here. That way, whenever I put it into my terrarium, it'll look like it's just kind of flowing into the rest of the snow. So I'm gonna put this in treetop first. And then I maybe should have put my tree in before I put in my penguin, but that's okay. And then I'm just gonna press down the little like snow skirt that I put on my tree. Here we go. And we make sure my tree is straight because it was very crooked. All right. So once you add your tree and you've got your penguin in there and your snow is kind of all smushed the way that you would want it to be, this is the basics for this terrarium and it is all complete. If you would like to add some more decorations, like maybe before you sit down to do this, think about if you have other little decorations that you would like to put inside, other things to go along with your penguin so he maybe has a friend. You can also add glitter and other things to make your terrarium your own. These clear plastic balls are also great for decorating with like washable markers that you might have at home. You can add decorations to the outside as well. And this, once you get the basic part of your terrarium done, you can really be creative and make it your own. So I hope that you have fun making your penguin terrarium, and thank you so much for watching our video.